Seek first to understand, then to be understood. That's habit number 5 in Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it's one of the habits that in one of the schools I was in, we taught children about in teaching them leadership skills. Basically, what it means is that people who have an issue or a problem need to be heard first. They need you to listen to them empathically and know that they've been seen and heard from their viewpoint before you can ever try and understand or resolve any kind of a situation. Basically, listening first before you start to talk. Um, I'm pretty blessed that I had a lot of time with a person who was really good at making other people feel heard and feel important. His name was Lawrence Gordon, but we just called him Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck and my Aunt Millie, 2 amazing people. They raised their children here in Essexville. They had 7 kids. And as I said, they were just amazing. I was blessed to spend a lot of time at their home, and they were more like another set of grandparents than they were an aunt and an uncle. And their 7 children that I had a lot of time with, many of them who were still living at home when I was younger, um, they were more like extended aunts and uncles than they were second cousins, and I learned a lot from all of them. But if you spent the night at my Uncle Buck's house, or you spent any time with him, you learned a lot about his love of country, and about how he felt about these United States, because he spent an awful lot of time in his service. He retired from the Navy after decades of service, and he took his service seriously. If you were in his house and we were there and the Tigers were coming on TV and they began to play the national anthem, you'd better stand up and take your hat off, even if you weren't in attendance at the actual event. It was that type. He was that type of serious about it. And if you happened to spend the night, and I was blessed to be able to do that quite a few times, then you had to go out with him and take the flag down each night before the sun went down, because you don't let the sun go down on Old Glory. And I learned how to fold the American flag, the old Stars and Stripes, the right way before I ever stepped foot in any Cub Scout class because of Uncle Buck. And in the morning, if you were up, the flag better go up. And that flagpole is still in his yard today. Uh, but, you know, more than just the flag and more than just the anthem, he understood that those things were simply symbols, part and parcel of the people that they stood for, the people of this country. And he loved people. I mean, and that's the part that I took most from him. I'd watch him when anyone came into his house. If you came in or the door opened, he would put aside his pipe, set down his tea, bolt up out of his chair or wherever he was at, and he had to make sure that he greeted you with this vice grip handshake. More often than not, an embrace that a python would probably envy. And he would call you by name or whatever nickname that he created for you that showed that you were dear to him. And he would ask you if you needed anything. And then he would ask you how you were. And he would listen because he really wanted to know. He made you, at that moment, the most important person in the house. And in a house full of like 7 people and all kinds of chaos, that's an amazing skill. He made people feel important, seen, and listened to. I took that with me as a teacher because I saw how powerful that was and how empowered it made people feel. And I worked really hard at making sure that I tried to learn as many students' names in the school that I taught, so that I didn't just know my kids, my classroom. I knew all the kids, and I would work hard at trying to greet each of them, shake their hand, call them by name, let them know that they've been seen, they're important, and that if they ever need someone to listen, that I would be available. I wanted them to know that my classroom didn't end at the classroom door. They were all my kids. It's that type of leadership, that type of listening, that type of availability that I'd like to bring to the position of County Commissioner. August 4th, there's the opportunity for you to be able to vote. It's coming up soon. And I hope that with your help, with your vote, I can bring that sort of leadership here. Seek first to understand. It's a great idea, right? Because it's not just about budgets. Behind each number in a budget is a person whose life depends on the services that the county provides, or a person whose job or income is derived from providing those services. Let's seek first to understand, listen to those people, and then make our judgments accordingly. I'm Jamie Johnson, hoping to get your vote for District 7 County Commissioner, August 4th. Get out there and vote. Have a great day, everybody.